When it comes to award-winning home remodeling, S&W Kitchens is Central Florida, Tampa's, and Brevard's favorite company for making dreams a reality. When it comes to designing and remodeling, S&W Kitchens has been setting the gold standard for workmanship since 1977. Visit snwkitchens.com. That's snwkitchens.com. Get a free consultation today. Your dream kitchen or bathroom on budget and on time without the stress.
Blog Talk Radio.
Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the only show that isn't giving me agita, the Metal Hammer of Doom. Yes, this past year we have been plagued by contentiousness, but there doesn't seem to be any contentiousness in the metal community, and that is good. A community full of dirty, sweaty, leather-clad people punching each other in the face, and we're getting along the most. It's fantastic. I am, of course, not alone tonight. We will be covering the latest album from Tarja Turunen. Tarja. The Shadow Self, which came out on August 5th. The latest opera metal release from the former Nightwish singer. And I, as I said, am not alone. I have my Chair 1 and Chair 2 and Chair 3 are both filled tonight. First, let me bring on the long-reigning co-host of this show, and oftentimes he takes the number one chair and brings you the kind of stuff that I couldn't be bothered with. Ladies and gentlemen, the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper. How do you do, sir?
I am doing pretty good. And I'm off a much better first chair than Jonathan fucking Riker ever would be.
Star Trek reference.
That man you hear laughing is, of course, the number 3 chair, and sometimes the number 1 chair, and the number 2 chair, and the number 5 chair, and the number 8 chair. He is the host of Source Material. He is Jesse Starcher. How do you do, sir?
Doing awesome. Hey, I just want to throw this out here. Just hopped in the archives. Okay. Metal Hammer of Doom, Nightwish Retrospective, Robert Cooper, Sean Comer, April 16th, 2014. And then almost a year later, to the day, just a few days off, we had Nightwish Endless Forms Most Beautiful, April 10th, 2015, where you boys tackled that one.
And I think both of the shows were highly listened to, weren't they? They were.
I believe so. And may we might be in for a surprise with this one. We'll just say.
Listen, I would like for the Radulich and Broadcasting Network to be a successful venture. I would love for it to make money and all of that. But then I am reminded that when you are known, people will come and find you. And last night, where Robert Winfrey and I reviewed Suicide Squad, and we got a call, and the call proceeded to say, that the caller proceeded to say that he couldn't really enjoy the movie because he wanted to masturbate and there were too many children around.
For fuck's sake.
And then he had to stand up knuckle deep, you see. And it reminds me of the Slayer podcast where we had not one but two people call to make homosexual jokes at myself and Robert Cooper's expense. And I ask myself in this wonderful world, is it really worth being well known so that more people will come and call and I can't scream them out because it's there's no because they start off serious, you see. They say, hello.
Yeah, they get you.
Hello, my name is Chadwick. And I have a question, and what do you think about this? And, oh, you're all a bunch of fags, la, 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 and then you're like, oh, you got me. So it's...
People don't it's hard to believe that people don't have anything better to do other than to sit here and troll fucking Blog Talk Radio. Have you ever fucking heard of such a thing? I mean...
Well, in their defense, pranking people is as old as the telephone.
Indeed.
The very first call that was made was a normal call. The second call, was your mother's a whore, and hung up because what are you gonna do? That's the history of the telephone. So the proverbial bag of poop on one's doorstep. I mean, what do you get? People like to play pranks. I don't begrudge them that.
Well, you can download. Here's what they don't understand. Of course, most people aren't going to do this, but you can fucking download the episode and edit it and replace the audio and just cut all that bullshit out. These people think. My assumption is they go, "You got to listen to me last night. I got these guys good," and then they share the link. Now that works both ways. We do like to see the clicks and the listens because that's kind of what it boils down to. If they're sharing it because they pranked us. It's just kind of a shitty way to get an extra listen, though, bastards.
Go ahead, Coop.
I was just saying the guy trying to masturbate during Suicide Squad. Who would feel for that guy? All he wanted was a Pepsi and to whack off, and she wouldn't give it to him. Just a Pepsi.
I don't take the trolling to heart. It's far. Listen, at least I'm not like fucking Leslie Jones. Who she had the nerve, the gall, my friend, to take a role in the new Ghostbusters movie, and for that she suffered indignity after indignity as people sent her pictures thinking she was a gorilla.
Yeah.
It could. You didn't see that story?
Well, I heard that she was getting trolled, but I didn't look into it because I didn't care.
Yeah, it was literally like thousands of people tweeting her saying she's a gorilla.
That's sad.
Rude.
So it could be worse.
It's very rude, and that sucks because I heard that movie wasn't as bad as as it was reported. Hey, Suicide Squad wasn't terrible. It was a movie, and I love it. I told my stepdad, he's like, what would you give that? I'm like, maybe about a 5. He's like, I don't know. I think we're comparing it to The Dark Knight. Let's bring it something lower. And I said, like what? He goes, like Batman versus Superman. I'm like, oh. So we're going to take that bar and go ahead and just put it at ankle level just so we can get things over. He's like, see, it's a good movie now.
Here's what I'll say. At this point, I've thrown my hands up with the DCEU, and there's one more movie left that was pre-Jeff Johns. I'm pretty sure they started shooting Justice League after Jeff Johns came aboard. That might be on the borderline. So we really won't know if Jeff Johns has made a hell of a difference with the DCEU until after Justice League. Wonder Woman, they were already done shooting by the time Jeff Johns came aboard. So as of right now, I hope Wonder Woman will be good, but I just don't care anymore. I'm waiting for DCEU 2.0 to see if they can right the ship. Of course, how they could take how they could have made such a disaster of it thus far. I don't know. This is also the studio that greenlit and then finally canceled The Death of Superman, which, directed by Tim Burton. You have to see the documentary on that. It's great. But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight, folks. We're here to talk about Tarja, the Shadow Self. As you heard before, we've done a couple of shows. We did the last Nightwish, which did not feature her. She's left the band now for 2 or 3 albums. But the retrospective that Robert and Sean Comer did, that featured all of Tarja's early work. She has since gone on to do some solo work. And one thing I have noticed since she's gone solo is each album gets less and less operatic. This one is the most pop sounding she's done yet. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not in favor of her going that route. I like when she uses the full range of her voice. She has a very powerful voice, and I don't know if this last album really captures that. But then I go back to the sort of thing, the sort of issue we're having with films these days, and that is, you have to sell records. You have to appeal to as wide an audience as possible if you want to make a living. And I don't know how many people truly appreciate the strength of her voice when she uses it. So she might have made a calculated decision to go more pop sounding because that was going to widen her audience. We'll talk about that as we hear the tracks and see what there is to see here. Jesse, you were not on either one of those shows, if I remember correctly. What's your knowledge of her Nightwish work or her solo work, if any?
Zero. Absolutely zero. Yeah, I'm not going to have much to add to the history of Tarja, Nightwish, or anything like that because it's been, other than what you guys covered, that's pretty much all I've ever listened to. And it's operatic metal is what I've read. But just like you said, when we get into this album, it's definitely a bit of operatic metal, but nothing that really, I would say captured my imagination. I'll save my final thoughts at the end, but yeah, history-wise, brand new slate here.
Now, do you like it when these women who have these wonderful voices use the strength of their voice, or do you like a more poppy-sounding female vocals with the metal? What's your opinion?
Well, first going into this, what I had to do was Christina set the bar high from Lacuna Coil this year, okay? I have not been a fan of any female vocalists in metal bands really ever up until just recently.
Misogynist.
No, it's not that the case. I mean, most of the stuff that I'd ever heard, there's a guest appearance of the lady from Arch Enemy in here. I think I've heard her before, and that turned me off. Okay, I'm saying that I'm saying that in a sense is that if she was on the big screen and I was in a movie theater, I would not masturbate. But but no, honestly, I don't have a lot of experience listening to much female-fronted metal bands, and so of course what I did immediately was compare Tarja to Christina, and I found out that I like Christina a lot more than what we hear from Tarja here. The powerful, operatic voice that comes from this lady. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's something that is horrible to listen to because it is absolutely stunning. But when we start throwing metal into the mix, it's hard for me to get that Jell-O to stand up to where I eat it and I'm put a smile on my face. So, how's that?
All right.
So you're saying it's not quite the same, the same Jell-O that Mark Radlich enjoys.
I guess so.
All right, Coop, give me some of your opening thoughts here. You're very familiar with Nightwish. You're familiar with Tarja. Tell me some of your thoughts, and then we'll jump right into this.
I actually like female vocalists in metal bands pretty well. I mean, I'm not one of those. It's like, oh my god, female vocalist, I must listen. But I like them. They're pretty good. It's not an immediate turnoff for me. Tarja's a vocalist that I really like for the fact that she has range, but sometimes I feel like she overdoes the operatic thing. Like, yeah, I know she's professionally trained and really good at that, but there's a certain point where I'm like, this doesn't fit with the tone of the music. And there were a few points in this album I really feel like that she was adding those kind of epic operatic vocals, but the music that went along with it really kind of clashed with it. It didn't feel like something almost film score-y where that would fit. It felt more like, oh, here's your metal, and here's this woman trying to sing her lungs out with and it didn't really work. By the way, I'm looking at a GIF here of a sewage truck exploding in the middle of a street, and it is glorious. You know, it kind of actually reminds me of that Surgical Meth Machine album that we listened to. Everybody's sitting in their car going, oh, what's that? Oh, no. Poop. Just flowing.
I'm sitting here listening to you guys talk, and I'm like, now, for the last few weeks, I've had a bit of an obsession with something. Y'all know what it is. I'm not going to say it.
Thank goodness.
Oh, God, it's fucking butt cherry, isn't it?
I wasn't going to say it, but I was going to ask. I've now done this a few weeks in a row. Can I get away with one more week of butt cherry jokes, or do I need to retire that bit?
That had to have been retired like 2 weeks ago when you thought about fucking bringing it up.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you want to make butt cherry jokes, you can just put on butt cherry's music because inherently it is a joke.
Waka waka.
Waka waka. Actually, I was one of my favorite internet reviewers. A guy at his YouTube page is like Rock Reviews, and he's got this page. He's got this one series like once a month to look at an album that was shitty that everybody bought. He already did Risk, but this month he's doing 15 by Butt Cherry, the one with Crazy Bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, good
That's appropriate.
God. The singer for that God, what's his name, Josh Todd? Like, I don't know how the guys on that metal show could obsess with Buck Cherry so fucking much, considering the guy sounds like his nuts are being, like, cheese grated.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Let's get into this. This is the first track of the album. This was also the first single that they released, the only single that they released. This is Innocence from the Shadow Self by Tarja. that's pretty much the song. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time here.
Hey, Robert
right.
Robert Cooper. Hold on. Robert Cooper. What was the name of that song?
It has something to do with a step tank exploding on a Moscow street, which I watched the full video for that. And the best thing about it is once everybody drives off, there's a white SUV that looks like it just went mudding.
Oh, so nasty, dude. You have to get out of your vehicle. I mean, the only thing you could do is like hit a car wash, an automatic car wash. That's it. I don't know if they have those in Russia.
I mean, I don't know. All I know is I don't know what I'd much rather do. Be at a stoplight beside a septic tank truck and it explodes, or go to a Buck Cherry concert.
Now wait a minute, guys. If you're hang on. If I'm not allowed to make Buck Cherry jokes, neither are you.
Hey, did I say I was tired of it? No, Jesse's the one that got all angry. He's like, "We're Buck Cherry."
Excuse me, Robert Cooper. I don't think you were here last week to hear every single fucking joke of that, or excuse me, every single fucking time Buck Cherry got mentioned. Oh, it was horrible. But I survived, and I'm here to this day.
I was at work.
Yeah.
I was too busy picking up pallets with a forklift. But yeah, I think this song was called Innocence, Innocence. Like, there's a few songs on this album I'm like, things I've noticed about bands that are more or less a vanity project for your singer. 1, the music gets to be slightly generic. And 2, the lyrics can sometimes be slightly generic. I mean, that's not all of them. There's been some good Tarja songs, but that was kind of like case A.
Yeah, well, okay. Mark, you ain't even had a chance to throw it either one of our ways, so I hope you don't mind us like taking control here real quick just to kind of give you our thoughts. But I will tell you right now that when this song first started out, I was like, oh, fuck me. This is going to be a long-ass album. And then, of course, the metal hit, and I was like, okay, now I'm starting to kind of dig this. So track 1, as we started getting into it, I started becoming a little bit more pleased with what was being played here. There's a lot of piano, so if anybody out there enjoys piano with their metal and their opera, of course, I think piano and opera go hand in hand. This song right here has got it in spades. So it's nonetheless, this first song I didn't hate. She does drive it home what the name of the song is, but whatever, it's I just like Coop said, that might be something that is a trend here nowadays. So go ahead, Mark.
Yeah,
I saw Eve in concert. It's better than that.
Okay.
Let's.
All right.
As far as pop songs go, I mean, I hear what Robert is saying, but it's still better than a lot of your modern pop. Our next track, Demons in You, this is the aforementioned joint jam with the singer from Arch Enemy, whose name is Melissa White Blues. Now, if you've never heard Arch Enemy before, you're going to be surprised that this is a woman, because I certainly was. Once again, this is track 2, Demons in You. Okay, a couple of things about that. One, there's some interesting and fun bass work at the beginning of that song. It was almost approaching like Primus, Les Claypool levels.
Yes, that is in my notes, man. That is exactly the feel I got.
And then it gets into the regular part of the song, and it was pulled right from the generic vending machine of guitar licks. All right, very good. And then instead of like I sing, you sing, I sing, you sing, and we try to complement one another, you have Tarja and Alyssa singing at the same time, and it sounds like it either sounds like a jumbled mess or a TNA promo, where everyone's just talking over each other, and you can't hear what anyone is saying. It's bad radio, is what I'm trying to tell you. They don't complement each other at all. It's Robert and I were talking before the show. It's kind of peanut butter and lettuce. It just doesn't go together. I don't think Alyssa adds anything to the song at all. As a matter of fact, when she's not singing, I think the song dramatically improves. The problem is there's no consistency in the music. Like I said, you have this bass work at the beginning that you're never going to hear again. You have these competing voices that don't complement one another, and then when she's just singing, it's we're back to she sings really swell over very generic music. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a hodgepodge mishmash.
Yeah.
You know, this reminds me of when you're about to watch a video, but then you forgot that you were loading something in the other tab on your computer. So then all of a sudden you get both of them at the same time. You're like, fuck, I gotta turn one of them off. This is a mess. Like when this song started, I was like, did I leave something on in the other tab? Because like she's in the listen from Arch Enemy's like, and then Tarja's trying to sing over it, but it really sounds like you're trying to talk to somebody in a really loud car. Maybe it's like it's raining, and you're like, what? This song was not very good. In fact, I think it's probably the worst of the album.
Yeah,
it's not very well inspired.
It's tough to have those two polar opposites on one track trying to do something together. It comes across forced, and Tarja's, powerful vocals just make Alyssa a footnote on this song almost. You can hear her. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. There's plenty of clean growling vocals out there. If you can throw a rock and hit one of those bands that do that, and they do it just fine. What they don't do is sing over one another. You have a clean track here, you have a growling track here, and they are intermeshed. They are not on top of one another. So it is complementary.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It does sound good. The problem with this is, it was like when it was being mixed, it was just like, I will play both tracks at the same time and see which people like better. No, that's bad mixing.
Agreed.
Yeah, they clash.
Maud, are you just gonna lick your cat vagina? Is that how you feel about it?
Get down, Maud.
So give yourself a bad.
That's my papa.
You know I named my cat Maud.
Why?
Do you guys know what the whole story behind that was?
I remember this joke, but tell it again.
Well, I wanted to, when we always sent like greeting cards, or I just sent my kid, my friend's kid, a birthday gift, and so it's like, dear Michael, happy birthday, love Uncle Mark, Aunt Melissa, Lily, Jonas, and then there's Maud.
Then there's Maud. I do remember that.
I don't know why that fucking amuses me so much.
I didn't want a cat. I didn't want any more pets after I was forced to give away my dog. But I didn't want to give away my dog, so it was something we had to do. And I didn't want any more pets after that. We couldn't take care of my dogs, and I didn't want anything at all. but my wife insists that we get a kitten. So I'm like, well, I'm only getting a kitten if I can name it Maud. That way I can really do that joke.
And then there's Maud.
And then there's Maud. Then there's also No Bitter End, track 3.
It's a road for everyone, 'cause every heart's the same, to forgive what you have done, a silent wish for the change.
Okay, so a couple of things about that song. One, I really like it, but if you didn't tell me that it was a Tarja Turunen song, I wouldn't have known, based on those vocals. This is what I mean by she went very poppy on this album.
Yes.
You know, there are parts of it where if you just played those parts, you could have convinced me it was like an 80s song. You know, like Tiffany or Pat Benatar or something like that. I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun. Come on now, everybody. Move my body all night.
All night long.
There we go.
So you're going to say Pat Mullen.
He can sing. That man has a voice. I have heard it.
Yes, he does quite well with the old 80s, Nelson, Warrant. He's no Buckcherry, but...
biting my tongue.
Well, I mean, actually, if you wanted to sound like Buckcherry, you could bite your tongue.
Yeah, probably. It's not that hard to imitate. All right, Robert Cooper. She played the song a lot. There's in the notes that I put up on Blog Talk Radio, there's some... And she performed it in 2015 along with her cover of Goldfinger, which is actually quite good. I really liked it. In March of this past year, Earmusic released a snippet of No Bitter End on YouTube. And then in April, Earmusic released a trailer for the coming video for No Bitter End, and the whole video was released on April 20th. So, what did you think of The Bitter End? Actually, I think that's the track. If they were going to release a single, that should have been what they released a single.
I think it was one of those crowd-pleasing sort of songs. In terms of a unique song release, yeah. I like what you said earlier. Like, does this sound like Tarja? Kinda. Like, not really. It didn't really stand out, unfortunately, in terms of this is metal, this is Tarja. It just really kind of felt like a poppy, metal-y song. I'm not going to say it was like the worst thing in the world. It's acceptable. I think me and pop metal just don't quite mesh as well as I'd like.
Well, like I said, it does not. This is not an album that takes great advantage of her vocal range. He just sort of settles into a very comfortable range that I think is the most that would garner the most crowd appreciation, and just sort of stays there. Doesn't really push herself. Just doesn't sound like opera anymore. It's kind of it's nice. but as I said about my hat, he's nice, but he's too big. The hat I got for Christmas is too big. You ever hear it?
No, I'm not 80.
Well, neither am I.
The hat I got for Christmas is too big. He's nice, but he's too big.
I do not know that one.
Jesus. You know what's funny? I've never actually heard Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey until I was in a Goodwill, and it was playing.
Mark Radlich's just sharing all sorts of culture because I've never heard that until Dominic until this particular. I think it was either this show or it was. I don't know what show it was, but it was definitely on the Radlich and Broadcasting Network.
I know I've made a big deal about it.
Oh man. Now I have to find and listen to The Hat I Got for Christmas Is Too Big.
Yeah,
I'll see what I can
do.
I'll have to find it.
Nice, but he's too big.
Okay.
I hope they not.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying, I hope that doesn't happen to Randy Orton. Because you know what happens if he gets a hat that's too big? He goes. I was going to say he was just going to, re-gift it with the extra gift back to you.
Shite.
The hat I got for Christmas is too big. It's nice, but he's too big. Is it raining? Is it snowing? I can't see where I'm going, because the hat I got for Christmas is too big. So ring the bell. I can do this all the time.
You could. You could.
Right.
Let me, first off, I just want real quickly echo what you said about this last song, because in my notes, I seriously wrote down that this has her vocals. Fuck.
Oh, God almighty. How did he get it uploaded that quick?
It's not uploaded. That was from YouTube. Go on.
I had 80s pop feel for her vocals. The song's heavy, and I really didn't mind. I didn't mind No Bitter End. I didn't think it was horrible. But, it certainly wasn't. There it is, right there. The hat I got. And big is spelled B-E-E-G.
What is this? Is this a bad racial stereotype? Let's find out, boys and girls.
Jesse, do me one favor. This Christmas, will you please let me pick when your kids on Christmas Day open up their presents, will you please let me pick the soundtrack?
Oh, my gosh. No. You have your own family to torture, not mine.
What? Here's what I would do for you, sir. I would...
Is this Speedy Gonzalez?
Is it?
Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's Don't Blank.
Yeah. Oh, sweet Jesus Christ.
Here's what I would pick.
Honestly.
I would pick Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey. The Hat I Got for Christmas Is Too Big. You only need about 10 songs to get through Christmas morning. I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. I'm Getting Nuttin' for Christmas.
I know I'm getting Nuttin' for Christmas. That's a good one.
That is a good one. Oh gosh, where's my Christmas mix? I'll figure this out and I'll get back with you.
Yeah, you got until Christmas.
The Night Santa Went Crazy, of course.
Oh, that's a great one.
I wouldn't
Weird Al Yankovic.
But I would recommend Homo Christmas by the Queers.
No, you would not.
Oh, a Homo Christmas? It's just like a regular Christmas with two dads.
Oh no! The Queers wish you would to have a happy Homo Christmas. Not even joking about them. There's no hidden joke here. There's a band. They're called the Queers. They did a song on a punk rock Christmas album called Homo Christmas, and at the end of it, they're like, have a Homo Christmas this year.
I want to roll into the church parking lot with that one.
Wouldn't not go over so well.
Like, make eye contact with every scowling old Bible thumper.
I'm not saying that Jesse should play Christmas Morning. I'm just for his kids because I feel like his wife would say no.
You feel right, sir.
But I would say that during the Christmas season, if you're tooling around with the kids, playing it while you're driving them hither and thither wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Okay.
I don't know. It might.
It's a Rattledge family staple, whether they like it or not. It's a great song.
I will let you know. How's that? We'll go with that.
In the meantime, when this podcast is over, I expect a 50-page report on the Hat I Got for Christmas is too big.
Oh, man, I still gotta go through Anthrax.
That's right.
Damn, I still haven't got around to that.
Oh, Jesse, you're so behind.
I'm missing out.
All right, let's now that I've given everybody some Christmas cheer in August.
In August 10th.
Not even Christmas in July anymore, you bum.
Let's go to track 4. This is Love to Hate. Sounds like they should have included that in the Nolan Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse, I'll start with you this time. What are your thoughts there?
Not a whole lot on this one. I think my notes here that I made, seriously, as luck would have it, my notes say the song feels too big. I shit you not. I have that in my notes. As I was making my notes, I put the song actually feels too big. There's just so much going on. It's an epic track, but for you know, if this is supposed to be a metal album, they're way overshooting the mark, in my opinion, with that. And that's maybe who she is, but I didn't dig this particular song at all, to be honest.
It didn't ring your bell?
Did not ring my bell. Ring my bell. You can ring my bell. You know, the first time I ever heard that was on DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. That's how uncultured I was. All right.
You know, I don't even know if I've heard that.
What?
Yeah. I was still on the Christmas song. I don't know where the hell you went.
I just took it where it belonged.
Well, if it should have been where it belonged, it would have been in the garbage with Buck Cherry.
Oh. He just said
anywho, this song is fine. I like what she was going for. Honestly, I feel like this type of song really fits her vocal range a lot better. It was a little bit impacted. I think they tried to fit about 6 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't 10 pounds. It wasn't like they loaded it twice as much, but it was just enough to where the shit kind of came spewing out the top, just like that tanker truck that blew up.
I see a theme here.
Yeah.
Every show is like this. One of us gets stuck on something, or more than one of us gets stuck on something, and we can't let it go through the duration of the show.
Because we are us. We are a bunch of insane, crazed lunatics that are obsessed with frivolous bullshit.
Hey.
But, yeah, this song here was... What was that? What about the hat you got for Christmas?
I said, Mel Blanc Christmas songs are not frivolous, sir. It's American as apple pie, Nancy Reagan.
Oh, God. Nancy Reagan. God, I'm so happy I wasn't around for the 80s. Reaganomics. Please.
Whatever, man. You missed a great decade.
I know. I missed a lot of good metal. And some really good anime if you found it. If you found it. But, yeah, this song is perfectly serviceable. Wasn't quite my thing. I was going to say wasn't quite my speed, but actually, yeah, I like music like this. I just kind of felt like she is a little bloated. And you know what's funny? There's a little too big? 2 songs. It was too big, but it looked nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. We're going to have 2 songs at the end that are going to be like 10 times worse than this. So, you know, it's all good in the hood.
All right. I don't have a whole lot to add to that. I agree with my 2 brothers on here. It's nice, but he's too big. People listen to this album are like, Jesus Christ, they just get stuck on one thing and that's all the show is after that. All right, this next one is a cover, so you know it's good. This is formerly by Muse. This is Supremacy. wish I could have let the guitar play a little bit longer. It's the best part of that song.
That sounds like somebody getting their balls caught in the zipper.
She hits high note.
That's the thing. Like, she hit that level of like just obnoxiously high, where I can't tell if it's a guitar squeal or her.
It's borderline screaming. I mean, it's scary.
I like the guitar work in the song. Yeah, I mean, you can't knock her singing. Takes quite the vocal range to be able to hit those high notes. Whether they're appealing to you or not is a whole other story. But I like the cover. I thought the guitar work in this was pretty tight. It almost sounds like, you know, after recording a bunch of songs, she was just like, hey, let's fiddle with something, and they, you know, this was the product of them fiddling. You know, the band finally being able to kind of cut loose and just play something for the fun of it.
Now, I've never heard the original. Is this, I mean, other than obviously it's a straight up cover, but do they stick real close to what the original sounded like, or do they really vary?
Dude, I couldn't tell you what a Muse song sounded like if I tripped over it.
I think I've listened to one Muse album, and that was the real popular one. That, hey, didn't they have a song on Guitar Hero 3, Coop?
Yes, they did.
That's what I thought.
I think it was Knights of Sidonia.
Yes.
I think it was.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
That's it. That's
Boom.
it. Take a shot, everybody.
Everything leads back to Guitar Hero 3. You know what?
Man.
I think when we get off this podcast, I'm going to go dig up the 360 for the first time in like 3 months. And then, I'm going to go play some Guitar Hero 3.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Yeah, actually, you know, that reminds me, I'm already on eBay. I wonder how much Guitar Hero Metallica is running for. Because God darn it.
They flooded the market with that. It should be cheap, I would think.
I think it's sitting at around 10. That's a little too expensive for my blood.
Trust me, I hear you.
And I can't say anything. I've been like, oh, here's $20 worth of manga here, $20 here, $20 there, $50 here. Yeah, I need to stay away from eBay. Seriously.
$10 for a game? Fuck that.
Well, yeah, especially when I'm used to paying $2.
I hear you. I hear you.
Pawn jobs, man. Pawn jobs. Anywho, as for Get Caught Indoors, the sequel, I felt like it was a...
It's a sequel?
I felt like it was a good... The sequel, yes. You didn't see the original? You probably don't want to see the original.
Apparently not.
Yeah. This song, God damn it. I thought this was a pretty solid song. Guitar work was, again, as you said, tight. The vocals were honestly great. It's just, I just felt like she overdid it. I felt like when you overinflate a tire, it just kind of blew up. It's like that septic tank.
I in my notes I had in there that, I mean, her voice, it almost sounds like they purposely mixed her to overmodulate to where it was like distorted a little bit when she hit those high notes. If they did not mix it on purpose like that,
she broke the microphone.
She broke the microphone, dude. Seriously.
God, that's the equivalent of That's the equivalent of that one time one of my coworkers told me he slept with a former coworker, and when she went to take off her pants, the belt buckle just exploded. It's very much like that.
That should have been the sound that it made as the belt buckle soared through the air. Was her screaming.
Then she said to him, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be back for that." And he was like, "No, you're not." That's why you don't take your cousin's advice of sleep with a fat chick. It'll make you feel better.
Oh, man. Mark Radley, save us, man.
I'm looking for Christmas songs.
Oh,
recommend.
no wonder he's quiet. He's on a mission. He's building a fucking playlist as we speak.
He was like, sorry, I was a little distracted. I was looking for a comic book the entire show. I'll never forget.
All right. Move on to track 6. This is The Living End. These are fucking meandering songs, man. They start off. I mean, this one I was fighting back a little bit of laughter because as soon as it started, I'm just like picturing her wearing like flowing clothes, singing in a cornfield, playing acoustic guitar. But I got over that enough. That, or I just wanted to yell out, "I'm going to Disneyland." You know, the Dada song that I put on the playlist. In any case, wherever my weird mind went to, I was like, just be a good host, let the song play, and I got past it. And I was like, all right, I'm starting to dig the song, and then it just meanders. It just wanders off the beaten path. I can't say it doesn't have rhythm, but I just feel like, as you guys said before, like she goes through these sort of epic sounds, and you guys have, I don't think you've ever heard anything from Cracker's The Golden Age, but there are some fairly lengthy tracks on The Golden Age, like Big Dipper and The Golden Age itself, and a couple of others, and they're held together very well. They're very long, but there's a lot of bridges that hold the whole song together, and it does come across as epic as what they were trying to go for, and this doesn't have it. It's just she's not singing. They're just kind of playing the same notes over and over and over again, and there's nothing really holding the song together. There's no cohesion.
Yeah. This being one of the softer tracks on the album, I mean, you see where she goes into almost, I wouldn't say different genres, but it's just like, they just try a different sound here, try a different sound there. Clearly, this particular song, just like you said, it's, I mean, are you ready to take a nap? The middle of the album, this is probably the place for it to kind of let it slow down, and then we're going to pick back up. So I don't really have a lot. I'm
comparing it to a song like Dixie Babylon by Cracker. That name escaped me momentarily, but Dixie Babylon is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. It's like an 8-minute song, and it's very it's very slow and it's very twangy at times, but it builds. it goes somewhere. There is an end point that the song is trying to get to, and when it finally does get there, and and it starts to erupt with violins and piano and all this, you're like, oh, okay, the journey was well worth it. This is just kind of, if one of them is sort of Lord of the Rings, the other one is sort of just walking around in a circle, and that's what I feel like that song was. It was just walking around in a circle for a long time. I recommend when this podcast is over, since it's too early for Christmas, you should go to YouTube and listen to Dixie Babylon by Cracker. You won't be disappointed. I assure you.
Almost overcooked my Jamaican meat pocket. Ooh, that was almost a mistake.
Damn.
See, I feel like everything Mark said about this song is what people could just say about our podcast. It's like, it's kind of meandering. Like, they're going for something epic, but, really, I just kind of had to hold back laughter a little bit until I realized it wasn't funny.
It's the truth.
Yeah, this song drug like an old orangutan's titties.
What?
All right.
I'm saying it drug like an old orangutan's titties. I mean, they're pretty saggy, right?
Okay.
I'm going to have to Google this and find out.
Oh,
Hold on
no.
a second.
The wife's going to be looking up on the computer. Jesse, why were you looking at orangutan titties?
Oh, I better go private for that one then. Control Shift T.
You know what's funny? Like, our shenanigans are more entertaining than this album.
That's a lot of that. I feel like that's
song,
here for a lot of these shows is our shenanigans were more entertaining than the album that we reviewed.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was hoping, okay, not like Tarja's solo music, not nearly as good as her Nightwish music, but you know what? I had some faith, and then I heard the first song, and I was like, oh no. This song here, they tried, they really tried, but Jesus, they just, nah, not really. And I like slow, plodding music on occasion. I've been listening to Catatonia on a loop for the past week, and I've been in love, but yeah, it's not really doing it. This album's just kind of there. I heard it sing. Is that orangutan kitties?
No, that is the living end, my friend.
Okay, moving on. Jesse just found us a picture of a diva, so let's hear a song about a diva called Diva. efficacy, but it's overall at least it differentiated itself from the rest of the album. I can't say it's very samey. That was an okay song.
Yeah.
It had that sea shanty feel to it.
Sure. What? Sea shanty? Now, at no point in my time have I ever said a song has felt like a sea shanty. So.
And then you've not went to enough hailstorm in your life, my friend.
I was wondering if he was going that route.
You're not listening to the right kind of pirate metal.
Sea shanty.
Holy Jesus, those orangutan titties. Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's like an inch dip, man. At least an inch.
Yeah.
We have fun.
That is.
We have fun here on the Metal Hammer of Doom.
Well, when the album's a Tarja album, apparently our mind starts to wander. Okay. Let me slip in here and talk about Diva real quick. This is another, just like you said, it stays out of the realm of samey, and we're kind of experimenting with another bit of atmosphere, a bit of a different feel for the song. Her voice again comes across to me in this song as more powerful than some of the other songs that I've heard on this album. So it's okay. It wasn't anything. I don't think this breaks top 5 on this album, but it's there.
It is definitely there. In the interest of time, I'm gonna just go ahead to. I want to try to keep us to 90 minutes tonight if we can. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to track 8 here. This is Eagle Eye. That song is just fine, but I've got breaking news. This comes from the HuffingtonPost.com. I've already shared the article with our fine friends here. Meet the woman staging concerts in her vaginal canal.
I love how you purposely...
It sounds like a groupie in the 80s.
Canadian artist Dana McLeod is staging a show in her vaginal canal. How? Well, it's complicated. Of course it is. Her project, the Uterine Concert Hall, is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. She's running a cable from a separate DJ booth into her vagina just feet away, projecting music into her uterus for no one and everyone to hear. Audience members, if you can call them that, are invited to listen to the DJ's music via headphones connected to the booth, or more intimately, use a stethoscope to eavesdrop on the show happening inside McLeod's body.
Do you see the picture?
Yes.
There is a picture of the back of a DJ and blurry, just out of the, in the background there is a person with headphones listening to this lady's womb. And she's not in a closed room here. This is out in the middle of, like, a street, and there's people standing around. I don't get art sometimes, man. I really don't.
God, fucking white people, I swear.
Wow.
Only fucking white people. I would never imagine a black artist being like, all right, you know what I'm going to do?
I'm looking.
Go down and you see the guy just mesmerized with the stethoscope.
Yeah. He's like, He's like, this is the closest I've been to a gooter in a while, boy. Or the guy all the way at the last picture that looks like he saw things. He has 1,000 yards. He has that 1,000-yard stare straight at a Full Metal Jacket.
I wonder if it sounds different in any way, shape, or form. It has to, man, I don't know.
So I would like to back up Robert Cooper's sentiments with fucking white people, man.
Only us.
White people ruin everything.
We have way too much. We have way too much time on our hands. Now that we're not colonizing.
Cooch music.
Speaking of white people, this next song is about wrestling zombie.
People are silent.
Undertaker. That was my goofy little joke that I made. Again, it's fine. I'm the album, me, this podcast, all losing steam rather quickly. Jesse, your thoughts?
Coop, did you? I don't know if you had a chance to hop on Dark Lyrics or not, but did you look up the lyrics by chance for this song?
I did not.
Well,
I was the Undertaker.
I want to put it in perspective for you here, okay? It's a song about a child who loses their parents to a fire, but finds out years later their brother was the one responsible for the tragedy.
Oh, bullshit. Jesse Starkey, you're pulling our leg.
Damn, good wrestling reference there.
No, not quite. Though I have to say, I forgot to make the joke during Diva that, haha, it's Tarja. Because I hear she is quite the handful.
Oh, is she?
Well, that's why she's not Nightwish anymore.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
that's what I heard why she left Nightwish. Yeah, she was a pain in the ass.
Huh.
All right. Speaking of pains in the ass, we are 2 tracks away from being able to end this podcast. So here it is, track 10, Calling from the Wild. Jesse, your thoughts?
Liked it. This was I think my second favorite off of this album. I thought it was very it was impressive and a great way to sort of bring the album out. We're not to the final track yet, which is aptly titled when we get to it, but yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't really have any complaints about it. It was pretty good stuff. Cooper?
I liked the first part of the song. I just felt like towards the end I was just looking at the clock going, is it over yet? Is it over yet? Is it over yet? And then that actually carries into the next song, which I'm sure Mark would love to get to so he can go to sleep.
All right, this is track 11. This is our final track of the night, and after this we'll have a little discussion, we'll wrap up, and we'll do plugs. This is too many. 12 minutes, no.
Fuck off.
Was anyone else thinking as that song was wrapping up, I'm never gonna dance again, guilty feet have got no rhythm, which I would have preferred her if she had done that.
Yeah, it's definitely, when it says too many, I came to the same conclusion that Coop did. Well, I don't think there's too many tracks on here. There's definitely too many slow songs. But that's just me. I don't know if that's what her previous albums were like, though. See, I don't have, like I said.
You can go listen to The Brightest Void, which came out in June, which actually I think is a better album. It was an EP. It's got some covers on it. It's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit more interesting. This one, I'm gonna give my my assessment here. It's a bit plodding. It doesn't really maximize her voice range, which is the best part of her. It's sort of like she's totally like a gimmick singer.
Mm-hmm.
They decided not to employ the gimmick for some odd reason with this album. A little too poppy for my taste. Just kind of there. I'm gonna give it a C+.
Okay. I'll go ahead and give my final thoughts, and Coop, you're more than welcome to hop in there with your track analysis and then final thoughts. Okay, as for my first exposure to Tarja by herself, let me tell you, I've been on this podcast for quite a while now, and I would say that this album is probably the first one where I've winced like almost with every track, because her powerful voice is enough to make me go, whoa, this shit's too loud. Something's going on. But that just speaks to how she, has a great vocal quality in it, where she can belt these things out. You guys heard it. We just went through 11 tracks of that. I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to the hidden track at the end of this, which I think is called This Song Is a Hit, which starts out extremely metal. Then all of a sudden the THX sound test from your DVDs that you always hear hits.
The audience is now deaf.
And then all of a sudden it becomes like this hip hop track, and then it goes back to metal, and she's clearly, it's meant to be a goof off hidden track or whatever. But, just to let you guys know, that's a good portion of why that last track is 12 minutes, because there's a long space in between and then they goof off. But I'll go ahead and give this album I'm going to give it a thumbs up, just because I didn't hate it. There are a couple tracks that I enjoy. There's some slower stuff. As for, the production quality of this album, it's spectacular, but, it's not me. It's just isn't something for me.
I personally was born to gorilla titties.
His nipples continued to grow as he listened to the song.
Out of what? out of 5 gorilla titties, 10 gorilla titties.
10 gorilla titties.
No, 2 out of 10.
No, I see what you're saying. I would give this, me personally, if I'm doing gorilla titties and I am actually rating it, I would have to say this is a 7.
Is this what this podcast has come to?
I mean, damn.
We're now rating things in gorilla titties.
And that's really not a great rating. I mean, I don't know if you want a lot of gorilla titties or if you'd rather be on the lower end scale of gorilla titties.
If you have 7, that means that either that gorilla has 1 titty, or you are somehow like you have one detached. I don't know. I don't think they do that.
I am begging you guys to move this on.
Okay, well, I just found auctioneers with rap music placed over them, so that's a thing. And
that is
also
awesome.
Something that is great. It is also something that is a little more entertaining than this album. I am known as somebody that really likes slow music. Some people call it boring. I love it. Quite frankly, I found this album to be kind of a chore, though. it just doesn't really go anywhere, and they don't utilize Tarja's voice like they should. That's your selling point. That's what you're putting on the tin, Tarja. And then it's like, it's Tarja, but she's not really doing much of a Tarja thing. It just kind of there. And that's unfortunate because, we spent one of our many coveted review slots reviewing this. So if I were going to give this a score out of 10, I'd give this about give it a 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
great.
I give
Not
it about
a great review with a Metal Hammer of Doom. You were not impressed, Tarja. Do better.
Yeah, because the white people say so. And we hold vagina concerts.
Kids music.
You're going down to the Chattahoochee, right?
Way down yonder.
Way down to the Chattahoochee.
On the Chattahoochee, that's right.
All right.
Okay,
this podcast is a
before Mark
disaster.
falls asleep. Plugs.
Yeah. Well, we are going out on a whimper here. I may have to pick it back up with the that I got for Christmas is
too big.
Oh God. Well, okay. Well, I'll start my plugs. Just to jump this in there. Okay, so in terms of plugs, there's this podcast, wonderful podcast. Mark will plug it. Great. Then there's the Sentai Hentai Friends Have a Good Fun Time podcast that I like to call the Sentai Writer Podcast. You can find it on Facebook at facebook.com/Sentai Writer Podcast. That is SENTAIRDER Podcast. We do Tokusatsu. Have I watched any Tokusatsu in 2 months? No. Should I? Yes. So, yeah, that's a thing. I really would like to do that podcast again. I miss it. And I miss watching the Japanese Power Rangers. And they're starting to release it in America. So, yeah. And then the WTM Network, Wrestling to the Max. You can find it on Spreaker.com/WTM Network is what we're under and what they're under now. It's my buddy Sean Garmer. They do a lot, like fucking 3 2-hour wrestling podcasts a week. He does sports podcasts. I know he's in the middle of doing football preseason analysis, so that's neat. And they do video games too, so hey, go check them out. Love the guy. So, Jesse, go.
All right. Follow me at Stiznarkey on Twitter. I do a show on here called Source Material. It's a comic book related show. We talk about great story arcs in the comic book genre. Last episode was a couple nights ago, where I had the Patriarch Mark Radulich on. I had Jason Teasley. I had Ronnie Adams, and we discussed Harley Quinn Volume 1. So you guys can go back in the archives, check that out. The future of Source Material, our next episode will be in regards to the comics that came with He-Man figures. And it's going to be a blast. Going to have a round table of sorts. 4 people coming to the table with He-Man comic suggestions. And so it's going to be fun. Also, Cheap Seats. From the Cheap Seats returns tomorrow. I believe our scheduled returning time is going to be 10 p.m. We're going to get caught up with Jason Teasley, and we're going to find out what in the world is in store for us for this NFL season. Go give the Radulich and Broadcasting Facebook page a like. You can stay up on top of all the great podcasts that are out there that we have. We do usually a good job of promoting stuff on there. We don't bug you with a whole lot of junk. All we do is post when the podcast is coming up, and that's it. So give it a like. You're safe. Trust me. It's a safe zone. Then I want to go ahead and give a shout-out to my boys, Screaming Boy, the Screaming Boy podcast, Ronnie Adams and Adam Runyon, who will be returning this Friday on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. They're going to be actually going to have a twofer. We're going to have one on Friday, one on Saturday. The episodes are already dropped on their network, and we're going to bring them to you here on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network too. A lot of fun. I was involved in, I think, one of those podcasts. So check them out. Keep an eye out. That is all for me.
All right. Next week, tell you what's going on this month. Next week, we will be reviewing an album that I loved. I've already listened to it a bunch of times. I mean, one might even say it's better than Buckcherry. It's Yako with a Y. Loyoko. It's fucking amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. It's got that southern hard rock groove. I love it. I can't wait to talk about it. And I don't care that nobody on this show will probably like it. Y'all can go fuck yourself. Yako with a Y is amazing.
Will be a fun
Also,
week next week.
the end of a very contentious movie summer is finally over. We'll be reviewing our last movie of the summer. It is the Disney remake of Pete's Dragon, a dragon. I swear I saw a dragon. There'll be no singing about Passamaquoddy in this one. It's got an 85% rating over at Rotten Tomatoes, so it's doing well. Disney did well with this one. We'll see if anyone actually goes to see it besides me. As far as what the show is doing in the near to far future, on August 23rd, we'll be reviewing Sabaton: The Last Stand. That'll wipe the taste of Jackal out of Cooper's mouth. And then on August 30th and August 31st, we're going to have a double trouble. We got Running Wild, Rapid Foray, Yay for Pirate Metal. And then on August 31st, we'll be reviewing an album that we were supposed to do, I believe, 1 or 2 weeks ago. But Blog Talk Radio was having some sort of meltdown, so we rescheduled it to the 31st. There'll be Witherscape, The Northern Sanctuary. The week after that is the Devin Townsend project, Transcendence. The week after that, KMFDM Rocks, Milestones Reloaded. September 20th, Brujeria, Pancho Aslan. I'm not sure if that's really how you pronounce it, but that's what we're going with. September 27th, Every Time I Die, Low Teens. And 10/4. Now, what are you plugging into that date exactly? There's already a cheap seat scheduled for that night, by the way.
For Tuesday?
Tuesday, October 4th. Now, as I'm looking at the calendar, you don't have anything scheduled for Monday as of yet, but we've got reviews on Wednesday, October 5th for Deepwater Horizon, and then Marvel's Luke Cage on 10/6. And there's a cheap seats on 10/4 while I'm at Clutch.
Okay.
So the only other time that you guys could do it if you really wanted to do a double shot would be on 10/13. There's nothing going on that night, but that's another week where we're already reviewing something. It'll be Epica, the Holographic Principle. The following week, the Metallica album, which is yet unnamed. The following week, 10/25, Korn, The Serenity of Suffering. And then November 1st, Testament, The Brotherhood of the Snake. November 8th, we'll be digging back a few weeks. It'll have already come out, but it was the first available space we could do it. We'll be reviewing, at Robert Cooper's request, Opeth, Sorceress. So that's the new Opeth album. And then November, of course, is Turkey Month. So we like to review albums that were just terrible. Turkeys, as we call them. So November 15th, I will be on with the boys. Our first turkey of the month will be Anthrax, Stomp 442. It's god-awful. And then just in time for Thanksgiving, November 22nd, we'll be looking at Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In. The other option, now if you guys want to do your annual Thanksgiving Day show that I'm not a part of, that's another opportunity for you to do the album that you were suggesting before. November 29th, Meshuggah, The Violent Sleep of Reason. New Meshuggah album's out. And that's it for now. The calendar only goes so far. There's nothing else on the calendar to start plugging stuff into for the month of December. So I know at some point towards the end of the month we're going to be doing a wrap-up show of all of the stuff that we've already reviewed, probably December 27th. So we'll see. We'll see how December rolls out. But that's everything that we're doing for now. I appreciate you sticking with us if you have thus far. We'll be back next week with a much more exciting album, much more fun album. Jackal with a Y. I'm excited. These guys are going to hate it. That's fine. I don't care. So for the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper, for Jesse Starcher of Source Material fame, I am your host, the Mandated Reporter. This has been a Rattling Broadcasting Network production of the Metal Hammer of Doom's review of Tarja the Shadow Self. Be well, be safe, and behave.
You've been in a car accident. Now it's time to think about choosing the right doctor, paying medical bills, filing police reports, hospital insurance claims, car insurance claims, court fees, lawyer fees, and pleading your case to get justice. Or you could work with Farah & Farah and let us take care of everything for you from beginning to end. Farah & Farah, here to make it easy. Tampa.
On June 7th.
What is this place?
In these woods, we are prey.
The Watchers allow us to live because we follow their rules.
You can't see them, but they see everything.
No one sees one and survives.
From producer M. Night Shyamalan. Written for the screen and directed by Ishana Night Shyamalan.
Let them see you. What are they doing? Applause for you, Mina.
The Watchers, June 7th. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13.